Welcome to AI Foundry's Product Spotlight on Agile Mortgages. Thank you for joining me today as I spend the next 30 minutes reviewing the Agile Mortgages solution in our Product Spotlight. My name is Emily Nash-Walker, and I am the Head of Solution Architecture here at AI Foundry. Over the last 20 years, I have worked at and with many leading-edge companies that have led the way for next-generation software. These companies have included NICE, Kofax, and now AI Foundry. Before we get started, I'd like to cover a few housekeeping items. I'm excited to share with you some of the new features in the Agile Mortgages solution, and I invite you to ask questions via the Q&A panel. We will also be sharing some additional material related to this presentation at the conclusion of this session. Now let's dig in. We know that mortgage statistics are constantly in a state of flux, which really can compound the problem of information overload. But looking at the 2019 business climate for the mortgage market, we see that according to MBA, on average, $8,900 is spent to process a loan. Of that $8,900, roughly $1,800 is spent on quality data and loan compliance. How can your business save as much of that $1,800 as possible on that data quality and loan activities? So there are a few defined themes which have emerged in today's current business environment. Some of these themes include rising interest rates, rising costs, compressing margins, as well as market fragmentation. What if you could process your loans faster without leaving your LOS or source system of record? Close more loans without adding FTEs, improving data accuracy. These will help you compete faster and win. With the understanding of some of these challenges, I'm going to spend the rest of our session talking about Agile Mortgages and how Agile Mortgages can help solve those business challenges. AI Foundry solutions are built on next-gen cognitive business automation platform. This technology incorporates the latest in AI, machine learning, and machine vision to deliver a higher level of problem solving and decision-making for enterprises. The Agile Mortgages solution, which is built on top of the cognitive business automation platform, helps you to automate manual labor-intensive mortgage processes. It enables lenders to dramatically increase their pull-through rate. It shortens the lending life cycles. And it's important to note that implementations of Agile Mortgages are as in short as 60 to 90 days. Some of the new features of Agile Mortgages, which I will be demonstrating, include the following. We have an exciting new strategic partnership with Ellie Mae. We've continued the development in the areas of AI, which have produced faster ways to perform classification with accuracy over 90%. We have a sophisticated rules engine, which enables lenders to configure a library of rules, which can be aligned with different areas of the organization. And we have a cognitive business automation platform, which is deployed as a SaaS environment and is built on scalable microservices, which allow for seamless integration with external environments, such as an LOS or source system. So here at AI Foundry, we create the Digital One Office. To create the Digital One Office, we allow that to be the automation of the entire loan process. Now, this is achieved through the following steps. The first thing is the integration with your LOS or your source system. This allows us to automatically capture the loan documents as they're submitted by the borrower. Once the loan document has been submitted, the loan documents will go through a classify and extraction process. Now, this process leverages next-generation technology, including machine vision, which produces higher accuracy results faster. Now that we have the data, our rules engine will perform an evaluation on all of the rules which are applicable to your process. And finally, using a bi-directional integration, the loan documents, the data that has been extracted, and an evaluation of all the rules that have been run will then be placed back into your source system of record. So as I mentioned earlier, we have continued to improve in the areas of AI, which have produced a faster way to perform classification with accuracy over 90%. Agile Mortgages monitors continuously as loan packages and documents are submitted by the borrower and received by your LOS or source system of record. The first step in this process is to review to determine what type of document or documents have been provided. Once the documents have been classified, the necessary information is extracted. So here we see the loan packages which have been provided by the borrower. By selecting the Docs button, we're able to see how Agile Mortgages has classified this loan package. Here we see a pay stub, which has been separated from the loan package and classified. By selecting the Fields button, we can also see the data which was extracted from the documents and the confidence of the data extraction. The documents which are classified and the data which is extracted can be configured for your business process. So for example, each product line such as Jumbo, FHA, etc., can be uniquely configured as the loan documents come into your business. Another new feature is a sophisticated rules engine where robotic agents can be created to provide intelligent processing of loan documents and packages. With robotic agents, validations and decisions can be executed in a dynamic way. For example, we can have red flag rules such as validating Social Security number across all loans in a loan package. Or another example is that validations performed on the appraisal to identify property attributes which can affect the qualification of the borrower and notify the appropriate members of the production team can occur. So here in this example, we see that 2 of these rules have run, but they have not run successfully. So this will notify a member of the production team. This allows for the entire staff to be proactive as the loan file is being processed, and it removes reactive responses. Imagine not ordering services multiple times because the data was accurate the first time. Or imagine the ability to contact the borrower earlier in the loan process to correct any data entry issues or incorrect documents that were submitted so that there is not a delay with the loan process. Now, Agile Mortgages is designed to be flexible and handle exceptions that may occur during the loan processing lifecycle. We classify exceptions in 2 ways. One are data and document exceptions. While Agile Mortgages is designed to minimize any document or data exceptions, if an exception occurs, the exception can be corrected within Agile Mortgages through an intuitive task-based exception view. For any document or data that has been corrected, these corrections become candidates for an incremental learning of the Agile Mortgages solution. We also have the ability for loan validation exceptions to be corrected. Based on the evaluation of a loan package, if an exception on a loan is identified, this exception will notify the correct members of the production team through an alert, task, or message, or combination of all 3 in the LOS or source system of record. This notification will occur automatically through the bidirectional connector process that is configured with Agile Mortgages. We will see this demoed in a moment. So as we have seen, the Agile Mortgages solution has enhanced the areas of AI to produce more accurate classification, as well as more accurate data extraction with better results in a much faster way. There is also a sophisticated rules engine where robotic agents can provide intelligent processing of loan documents and data. Now, getting these documents and the data back into your LOS will be key so that members of your production team can process loans faster without leaving the LOS, in this case, Encompass. So Agile Mortgages will place the loan documents that is automatically separated into the correct Encompass buckets. Also notice the naming convention of the loan document is unique and can be configured for your business process. The production team should be notified about any validations on the loan file that have not run successfully, especially if they've not run successfully. But we recognize that emails can be lost. So during the configuration of Agile Mortgages, we will work with your team to configure any notifications to go to the correct resource by task or conversation log, whichever is appropriate. And finally, we can also update forms and fields within Encompass to reduce any data entry error issues. So we have discussed a few key areas which have been brought to the market with this new offering. The overall goal is to bring down the cost of processing your loans, which Agile Mortgages will help you accomplish. Through the use of Agile Mortgages, we believe that we can save you on average of $575 per loan through the automation of loan compliance tasks and performing automatic document review and classification. So I thank you for attending our product spotlight and now invite you to ask questions. So I'll hand it over to Bob, who I think will be monitoring the Q&A to answer questions.
We've got a few questions that came in.
Great.
The first question raised for Emily was, how many documents and rules do you have in your library?
We have a data model, so we have a great reference rule list, which includes standard CFPB rules, and we also have a base of the standard documents for many of the common product lines. And what our professional services team will do is work with you to configure the model specific to your business environment to ensure the correct rules and documents are configured, but that way any lender-specific rules and documents are also configured. Great question.
Second question is, you showed a lot of different screens. Do you have to go through those screens to review the loan status?
That's a great question, too. And the answer is no. The production teams, the solution is designed to be integrated tightly with your LOS, be it Encompass, as we showed here, by another LOS or your source system of record, so that your production team can live and work in the current environment which they process loans in. That's going to be important from a productivity perspective. The screens that I demonstrated today are really to demonstrate how Agile Mortgages performs classification and extraction, and then most importantly, runs rules on the loan data in order to really process the loans faster.
Okay, great question. Another question came through. On average, how long does it take to map a new document not already in the document library?
Oh, that's a great question. So, you know, really adding documents is going to be important, not only during the configuration, but then, of course, on an ongoing basis. So we have an intuitive model, and definitely be happy to, you know, schedule some additional time to take you through this, but intuitive model that allows you to add documents. It takes roughly, you know, I would say about 30 to 60 minutes to add the document and into the model, and then really allow you to perform extractions off of that document as well. And that's going to be key from an ongoing basis. Now, of course, during the implementation, our professional services team will work with you to configure that, but we'll also train you so that way you can do that independently after the implementation.
Another question. Can you describe, talk a little bit about your pricing model / licensing model?
Oh, that's a great question, yeah. So we have a flat fee per loan, regardless of the number of pages in the loan. And I think that it sounds like some of the folks on the webinar may have gone through an automation project in the past where, you know, other vendors, other automation vendors really do look at page count. We don't. We are processing loans, so we do have the flat fee per loan. And because we're a SaaS solution that's deployed in a microservices environment, this is going to allow you to adjust to your peak cycle, so you're not buying to peak. It allows us also to be respond faster as your business grows, but definitely a great question.
Another question just came in. Is there a delineation between admin functions that we could perform on the lender side versus administration requiring an AI Foundry resource?
Oh, I understand. Yeah. So there definitely can be, there, of course, is a super user. It's a SaaS model. So from the AI Foundry perspective, we'll take care of the environment. So you don't have to assign an IT resource to monitor equipment or the environment itself, perform Windows updates, those types of things, I should say operating system updates, excuse me. And then there's also, of course, a solution administrator, add users, add additional documents, add new extraction fields as they come in and to be configured.
This is a follow-up question to the pricing model. Can you tell us a little bit about the cost per loan?
That's a great question. So this definitely is something that we would be happy to reach out to you individually and talk through to understand your business needs and what your volumes are, and also really understand some of the throughput and pull-through as well. So I think that we'd be happy to get in touch. I think we probably know Bob who submitted that, so I can reach out to you and we can definitely talk through what our tier model is.
So another question came through just a moment ago. I guess I understand the pricing is a flat fee. Does that imply that the pricing model is not user-based, i.e. unlimited users?
Correct, it is not user-based. So, I will readily admit that we typically see, well, I guess let's take one of our larger correspondent lenders. I mean, they may have a couple hundred users in there, but it is not user-based. It's a flat fee per loan. So if you technically would like, 1,000 users in there, you can technically have 1,000 users in there. So that's something that we absolutely would work with you to make sure the right users are in there and have access to the right functionalities as well.
Okay, great question. So another question was raised based on customer experiences. Specifically, what impact has this solution had on your other clients' customer experiences?
Oh, that's a great question. So one of the some of the things that we've definitely seen with our prior implementations is that loans are processed more accurately and they're processed faster. A fair amount of the automation, of course, is about processing more loans with fewer FTEs in a faster way, or with the same number of FTEs in a faster way. We definitely have seen less back and forth with borrowers on, I'll call it mundane or repetitive type of inquiries, because we have the data and we can analyze the data up front. We also see that usage of the solution allows for conversations with the borrowers about their needs, and to finalize the loan process faster, allows for that faster closing. Once again, we identify issues up front and allow for the LOs and the members of the production team to really allow for that faster production time with the borrowers. So some great questions.
One last question, and there may be more, but what can we expect to save annually?
That's definitely a great question. So we have, this actually is a great lead into an ROI tool that we have that I'd like to talk a little bit about. So I definitely invite everybody on the webinar, and this will be one of the resources that we also send out to the folks who have attended this webinar, is to see how much you can save using the Agile Mortgages solution. So we have an online ROI calculator, and this is going to allow you in an interactive way to see the potential cost savings that you can achieve by increasing automation and reducing costs. So we're going to send this URL to you, and you'll also see that at the bottom of the web page from this URL, you can also request a more in-depth ROI analysis as well. So those were some great questions. Bob, were there any other questions? I think we've probably gone through most of them. Fantastic. As if there were any other questions that may have taken a little bit longer to respond to, definitely, such as the more of the tiered model or the specific information about price per loan, we'll definitely reach out to folks on an individual basis. But I thank you for attending, and please do contact me if you are interested in a more in-depth demonstration. You'll see my contact information is provided here, and we'll definitely provide that as one of the resources as well. So I thank you for attending, and have a great day.